Hello, and welcome back to Dashing Swords and Painting. This is episode 1 of So You Need a Monster. Today we'll be painting the Merrow. They are fearsome, aquatic, evil elves from a foreign plane. And the sculpt is from MZ 4250, free on Fangs. It is 3D printed, primed in tan. So, as you can see, it doesn't have a whole lot of details on the scales. So we're going to do some addition of our own textures. As you can see, I have some green and some blue on my palette. And to start off with, I'm just going to make a mix of those two. Just get a good amount on there. I want something sort of aqua colored in between those two. Get a good sized brush, and then we're just going to base coat everything on the bottom. Don't worry about being too neat. If you hit something on the top, you can always paint over it since this is the first layer. Make sure you get a good coverage. Make sure you're working thin. Better to have 2 thin coats than 1 thick coat. Now, if after the first layer it looks kind of blotchy like that, then go ahead and just add a second layer. Just like that. Get a nice smooth coat. Just like that. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of that mixture, a little bit of white, get it on a brush, and then we're going to get most of it off. Get a paper towel, whatever you want, or most of it off. Check on there, you want just a little bit, and then we're just going to gently dry brush it on. This is going to give us a little bit of texture. For a fairly heavy dry brush here. Always go back, add more mixture. I think it's almost empty, but you see that's much darker. Kind of blend it in. There we go. That's just going to give us just a little bit of texture on that front side. You see, where you almost get kind of a blending effect. Like that. If you don't like the look of that, certainly don't have to do that. I think it looks kind of neat, so I'm going to keep it. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is the back. So now, take a damp brush, grab a little of this, grab a little black. The black is pretty strong. That's okay. Just need to grab some of the green, some of the blue. That's okay. I just want it to be a different color on the base. Cool, that'll work. Alright. Rinse your brush off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take just a little piece of sponge. Dip our sponge in there and dab it off onto paper towel. Cool. And then with this, I'm just going to dab gently along the back. We're going to kind of try and stick with the spine here. Try. Here, if you need to get your sponge a little wet too, you can. Let's try this. Right along there. Need some good dabs. I think my sponge might be a little dry for this. Here. Let's try it with just black. I think this gives kind of a cool tiger stripey design. Especially in the absence of any sculpted scales. Here, I think gives us a nice pattern. You can do as much or as little of this as you like. It's a little hard to see in that light. As it dries, it's pretty subtle. I think it looks pretty good. So do as much or as little as you like. You could even do it with the lighter color on the front if you wanted to. I'll just give this a few more times and we'll see what happens. Okay, and with that done, let's move on to our next step. We're going to do the upper skin up here. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to take some blue and I'm going to mix in some white. It's going to take this like off pale kind of gray blue color, which I think looks pretty. Make sure we get the top of that on our brush. We're going to give her all the skin muscles on the top of the body. Once you're done, let it dry, give it a second coat if you need to, and then we'll come back. All right, now highlight the very tops of the muscles of each of those. So we're going to take just a little bit blue, more white. If you need a little bit more water in this, it's fine. The goal is to get this fairly thin. You want it to be a lighter color than you were previously working with. Remember, you want your fine-tipped brush for this. What you're going to do, just follow the curves of those muscles. You're going to get most of the upper surfaces of them. You'll see that as it dries, it gets a little thinner. Here we can see multiple deltoids. You can also do it by running the side of your brush, but sometimes that doesn't give you as much control. I'm just highlighting these muscle groups. Just like that. Doesn't have to look perfect. Just like that. Something rare. Just the tops of it. Brace your hands. Press control. The backs of the hands. Just use the side of the brush. The tops. Each of those fingers. right? It's fine. A little bit more paint. Side of the brush. Right on the top. We're trying to present a contrast. Between the tops of these muscles and what's underneath. Back over it. Now, if you really want to do this very smoothly, you can get thinner with your glazes and work it up in multiple layers. I'm going for a little bit more. Do this as a stippling technique too, if you want. Just like areas where light will catch. Alright. You can also get the ridges at the face. Gentle side dry brushing motion. I'm also going to get the face tentacles there. Alright, just like that. Next thing I'm going to do is we're going to get all of these fins and we're going to do them just in green. So a little bit of water on your brush, work it into the paint. Get a good consistency. Alright. Take that, paint it onto the all of these fins, just being a little careful of where they meet the rest of the body. You see it's a little bit translucent. That's okay. That means that I just thinned it appropriately. Then I come back and give it a second layer in a minute. Okay, once those are dry, let's give it just a little bit of a highlight. I'll take a bunch of the green, just a tiny bit of white, just like that. Decent amount of water. If you think it's going to be too light, you can grab some blue too, just to darken it down. And then test it out. Good. I'm going to use a sharp brush for this. Run it just along the edges there. Just a teeny bit too. I'm going to grab a tiny bit more white. Good. Just along the edges there. Just the tips. Just to give us some contrast there. Just like that. Too heavy, you can always go back and add some green. This will just give us just a little bit of textural variation. Just like that. Here. Remember the direction you work. You're going to end up with the most paint where you leave off with the brush. So work up from the base toward the tips. Just like that. Alright. Next thing we're going to do is the shaft of the spear, and that's going to be in light brown. Take light brown, base coat the whole shaft of the spear. Again, work thin, do a second coat if you need to. Just be careful around the hands. Be sure to brace your hands when you working around it, so fingers locked. I like the brown. You could certainly do it in black, gray, or whatever color you want. I like that the brown gives us a little bit of warm contrast, all the cool colors we've done so far. You use your narrow brush to get up into the areas of details obscured by other things. You certainly can. Alright, just like that. Alright, well, that's done. Next, we're going to mix a little bit of brown, white. And we're going to get this kind of pale white color. And just a little bit off-white, basically ivory. With this, we're going to do claws, anything on your miniature that looks like a bone. There, just the tips of each of the fingers. Any kind of detail like this. The side of the brush is very helpful. Right there, side of the brush. That's exactly what you need. Alright, next thing we're going to do is metallic on whatever metallic bit you want. I'm just going to do the head of his spear. This kind of steel color. Because I'm going to do the rest of his metallic details in gold. I do want this to be a separate metal. Just like that. Alright, next thing we're going to do is the gold bits. Now I'm going to do his bracers. This gold. There. Also going to do the part that connects the spearhead to his weapon. And I'm going to do his whole belt. So being careful here. Pick out just those raised details. And using a good sharp brush for this. If you have another brush that is not your best detail brush, like a small one from a just an inexpensive set, I would encourage you to use that one. Metallics that have the metallic flakes in it can degrade the life of a good brush fairly quickly, so keep that in mind. Short wear on them. All right, we're getting close to done. The next thing is we're going to do his eyes. Key with eyes is a good sharp brush. You get a good amount of paint. Test it to make sure you have a good surface. Then just give it a touch. Better to have your paint a little bit too dry on this than too wet. And then take a little bit of black. Again, you'd rather have it be a little bit too dry than too wet. Brace your hands really good. And then just touch. Pupil in like that. Same thing here. Just touch the pupil in like that. There we go. Alright, and the last thing to do is we're going to take our light brown and we're going to just go over the entire base with it. Make sure you have a good amount of water so that it flows underneath all of your things. Let's get all the rocks. And just be careful around the body of the miniature. Alright, once that is dry, our next step, we're going to use a wash. You can mix blue and black and then add a bunch of water, 10 to 1. Or you can use a pre-made wash if you happen to have one. So this is that. We're just going to apply this all over the top of the model. The idea is that it sinks into the recesses like that. Get into the hands, get into here, but you don't want to let it pool. If it does, just take a brush, kind of dab at it, reabsorb it a little bit. Apply it all over, just like that. Pooling, avoid pooling. I'm avoiding the gold areas a little bit. I've just found that a blue wash or a gold area is a very specific effect to get right, and I'm just not going to worry about that for this model in particular. Get the underside things, make sure you have both sides. The spine, the arms. There we go. Again, avoid pooling. There we go. Pooling is how you get tide marks or coffee staining. We just want to highlight the shadows. Okay. Once that's done, we're going to do the same thing but with a dark brown wash. Just a little thick. There we go. Dark brown wash. And we're going to put that onto the base here. That's just going to give us a little bit more definition. All over the base. Just like that. wash onto this one here. There we go. Could apply it here if you wanted. I think we've already done enough texture on that. You can see maybe a little bit where it goes onto there. If you get somewhere you don't want it to, just take a clean brush, some water, rinse it off, and just kind of wipe away wherever it got that you didn't want it to. All right, once that dries. All right, once that is done and dry, last step is just to paint the edge of the base rim in a black. Just use the edge of the brush. Careful not to go on top of the rim. Be careful about anything that touches.